I'm just gonna rewind and rewind because repetition is the mother and father of learning and skills. So get those skills instilled in every cell, neuron pathway, dendrite, and synapses without your whole physiology, which is the mind. Remember, it's a reflection: as above, so below; as below, so above. As is in the micro, as is in the macro. As within, also without, vice versa. Back and forth. Woo! Powerful information, man. I put all this together for you, and I'm trying to keep this in the one video because I don't want to make many parts. I just want to keep all this in video. So we're gonna do a review of all the 7 principles, the 777 principles, the 777 principles. We're gonna go over again. So I'm gonna start with what? We're gonna start with the forces of nature. The forces of nature that the universe is composed of is what? Magnetism, feminine principle, or the negative charge. Electricity, light / plasma, in other words, space. Sorry, let me error. Let me scratch that. Let me do this properly. Hold up. Woo! Let's get focused. Pay attention now. Got to do this right. So, magnetism, feminine principle, negative charge. Electricity, masculine charge, protonic charge. Light / sound, or photons / phonons. Ether / plasma, or in other words, space. Ether / plasma, space. Condensing to gases, liquids, solids. Those are the 7 forces of nature that the universe is composed of. When the mind of the Most High condenses and compresses their energy through their thought into words, which is sound, resonance, vibration, creating structure, rhythm, causing an organized movement through the feminine force, which helps to manifest and to bring things into fruition. So it's basically generating, procreating itself over and over again through different forms and condensations and compressions and spectrums of light. Condensing to different forms from light, ether / plasma, space, gases, liquids, solids, back and forth through the cycle. And we see a physical example of this through the water cycle. Water can be ice, solid. Water can be the liquid, which is what? The earth is composed of what? 70 to 75% water, or 80% of the earth is composed of water. I'm not sure of the specific statistic on that, but you get the idea that most of the world is dominated by the element of water. So, and then it could go in a gas state when it's rising into a cloud form, right? Or gas state in the cloud form. That's a representation of what goes on, the different states of matter. The slowest state of matter is ice. Then the middle one is liquid formation. Then the higher one is gas. And then the higher than gas will be even a looser gas that is pretty much invisible to our current forms for the most part. So that covers the first set of 7 principles of the forces of nature that composes the universe. The second 7 principles is what? Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, rhythm, polarity, cause and effect, also called karma, and generation or gender. So that covers the second 7 principles of how the universe operates and works, the foundational and basic principles in which all things are expressed and extend from are from those 7 principles of how the universe operates and works. The next 7 deals with morality and principles, the basic foundation of principles and morals of the universe, the basic 7, and all other morals and good ways of character come out of these basic and foundational 7 principles. And that's, what are they? The 7 principles and morale of the universe is what? Truth, justice, balance, harmony, order, reciprocity, propriety. And we also know all of these things have their opposite polarities to conflict and compete against these forces. So that basically breaks down all the 777 or the 7 principles of the universe and how it's made, composed, and the rules and instructions of how the universe is composed of. So now we're going to go into the light spectrums. We're going to cover basic foundations of the importance of light spectrums. So when we talk about light spectrums, we know that the prime original source in which all energies and lights, forces, and powers come from, it all comes from mind. And mind is essentially the triple black darkness that the universe is composed of. The triple dark blackness, dark melanin matter magic that the universe is composed of. We know that magic is essentially an electromagnetic force that is able to attract and repel different energies in a certain way. That's the dealings of magic. Magic manipulates energy in general. If you're able to use magic, you're able to manipulate a person, place, or things, energy in a certain formation or a certain way, whether it's in a good way or a bad way, a positive or a negative way, changing the polarities. You're able to manipulate the forces of nature when you use magic. So when we're talking about light spectrum, that's to put magic in its proper perspective and proper understanding, because a lot of people like to confuse magic because they don't have a holistic understanding, equal standing, and understanding of what magic really is. Magic is the original power or force to manipulate all forces in nature, and to manipulate and control and govern the forces of nature. It takes on different magic has different levels of use. It has there are good polarities and there are bad polarities. It can take on different forms. Voodoo is essentially the use of that as well. It's the African way of doing it, to be more specific, but that's not necessarily the topic today. But that's just to give you an idea, to open up your mind. It's important that you open up your mind and have a filter within it as well. You want to make sure that you research the information I'm talking to you about today. But a lot of this information, if you're really the called, the chosen, and elect one, you won't need to research this information, because I am the supreme intel of your genetics. I am providing you the right knowledge, the right reasoning, real sun, rays from the sun, that light knowledge, the light codes that is awakening, enlightening, deprogramming your brain and mind so you can receive the love of the truth, and also the tough love of the truth, the fire of the truth, because it's fire blaze, fire blaze, fire, fire, fire blaze, fire blaze, fire burn, fire yada yada yada, but yada yada yada, fire yada yada yada, but yada yada yada. Fire, fire, burn. Fire, fire, burn. Eh. Fire, fire, burn. Fire, fire, burn. Eh. Joy comes when the fire burns. Joy comes when the sun ray shines. Joy comes when the ray sun lights. Losing my voice, man, all the talking. It's all good. I just wanted to bring my intros to do a segue. Woo! Powerful information delivering today, man. Powerful information. elevating information here, uplifting information. This is what all children need to know today. So getting back to light spectrums, triple dark blackness, dark melanin matter magic is essentially embodies all light spectrums, all energies, all forces of nature is embodied within the dark, triple dark blackness. All things come from blackness. All energies come from blackness. That is the state, or that is the realm, that is basically the origin of all dimensions. So it's essentially the almighty triple dark blackness, which is the mind, is the realm of infinite possibilities. It's the realm of infinite possibilities. That is why you're not able to perceive what is in the triple dark blackness, because it's the realm of infinite possibilities. It is the genesis, or the original source to all possibilities infinitely. All possibility means all things encompass. There's nothing outside the all. All is everything in existence. Everything non-existent, because infinite possibility deals with all things, even things undiscovered, uninvented, uncreated yet. All infinite possibilities, all polarities, all patterns, all rhythms, all vibrations, all things. That's why the Bible says there is no new thing under the sun. When the Most High is in the natural state, the Most High is the embodiment of all things. There's nothing outside the all. All is within all. All in all. One is for the all. All is for the one. One is for the all. All is for the one. It's just when it's separated into different spectrums and angles of light, in where there is different egos, different characters, attributes, different ways of life, perspectives and perceptions and way of looking things, when we come into the white light, which creates that holographic realm and that state of being, in a state of competition, in a state of separation. So when we're getting to the status of that, all things come out of darkness. Darkness, triple black darkness, dark melanin matter magic is the embodiment of all things. And when white light is created, we know that white light is a sense, the opposite polarity of triple black darkness. So when white light comes out, it takes with it the other many different spectrums of light, seen and unseen, within the triple black darkness. So when the white light is emitted and has that emission coming out of the triple black darkness, the dark melanin matter magic, we see what? We see different spectrums of light, different energies, different angles of light come out. Different characters, different egos, different polarities come out of the triple state darkness, the triple black darkness, the plasmic etheric state of triple black darkness. All things come out of. So let's slow it down and break it down for you here, man. Getting excited, man. The supreme intelligent genetics is coming out. So dark melanin matter magic, triple black darkness. When white light comes out, white light takes out with it. It reflects, it deflects, it projects, it refracts all light spectrums to creating separation, competition, different perspectives and perceptions and angles of light. So essentially, to keep it simple, blackness is the embodiment of all things within the all. It is the embodiment of all things in synchronicity and unison, the united sun. Everything is in unison and synchronicity. Everything is in harmony, peace, balance, tranquility. It's in that state when it's in a triple black darkness. And then when chaos and discord comes out, it creates white light. Competition comes out, egos, angles of light come out, that creates white light. White light is responsible for reflecting all things out from the darkness. And that produces all the color spectrums seen and unseen from the triple black darkness, which is the genesis, the source of all that energy. So white light refracts all light spectrums, while black light, or hold on, white light projects, reflects, deflects, and refracts. So let me repeat that. White light projects, reflects, deflects, and refracts all color spectrums, seen and unseen, out of the triple dark melanin matter magic of the all in all, the supreme most high God. When they're in their supreme state, we have to keep in mind that the most high, when they're in the supreme state, doesn't have a gender. Everything's all in all. So they're essentially all one being. It's all one force, all one energy. Magnetism and electricity are always companioned among one another. That's what it is. The mind produces magnetism and electricity first. That's the masculine and that's the feminine and masculine principle. Magnetism is the feminine, electricity is the masculine. The negative charge is feminine, positive protonic charge is masculine. You have to keep that in mind. So I want to bring this all to a conclusion as well. So we're getting to that part. So I hope you understand what I'm saying now. I tried to make this as simple and as basic and foundational as possible for anyone to comprehend what I'm saying. I tried to keep it that simple. So blackness, triple dark melanin matter magic of blackness is the embodiment of all things. All in all is in all. One for all for one, and all of it is in all. That is the triple state of blackness, darkness, melanin matter magic. That is everything in unison, synchronicity, at peace, in harmony, balance, order, in its natural oneness. That is what it is. And then the white energies, or white light, is the opposite polarity of that, essentially reflecting, deflecting, projecting, and refracting all light spectrums in a state of competition, angles, perceptions, perspectives, and ways of life. That's where all these other lights come from. So now we're going to be moving on to the purpose in why the Most High Supreme God decided to create this life experience in this simulation, this matrix, this holographic realm, or realms that is made into infinity. So before we get to that part, we have to keep in mind that the supreme most high God and the other Elohims, or gods below him, the other powers and authorities below them, are essentially eternal. So when we're talking about through the black roots science understanding of things, they say that they just give a number of approximately 1,000,000,008,000,000 Elohims, or gods, or powers that exist. Those are the source gods that are eternal. Eternal means that they have no beginning or end. That's what eternal means. They have no beginning or end. And then when we're going to everlasting, everlasting is essentially a state where you're upgraded to a state of immortality, or a state of never dying. You move up to a higher level of state. So everlasting beings are beings that achieved a state of immortality. and and eventually the state of infinity as well. They basically, the only difference between the eternal original gods and the everlasting newer gods are wisdom and knowledge. The eternal gods, which have no beginning or end, are at the highest level of wisdom and knowledge, while the everlasting gods obtain the same knowledge as the eternal gods, but they just lack the application, they lack the wisdom, because the eternal gods are the beginning, they have no beginning or end. However, while the everlasting state of existence, in which according to the black roots, the non-black people can receive everlasting God body status, in which they do have a beginning, but they won't have an end as long as they're going to a state of high principles and morality to earn that status. You have to have a will you have to have principle and morality to earn that status, to become everlasting. You have a beginning, but you won't have an end, because you'll become everlasting. You'll become infinite as you apply the knowledge that you have received, as you applied the supreme mathematics and the supreme knowledge throughout your living. You will create your own infinities, your own universes in your own way, but you'll never be equal to the original 1,008 million gods according to the black root science, which is essentially the black folks constantly reincarnating on Earth. So that is essentially the eternal gods, which have no beginning or end. Those gods are all essentially equal in wisdom and knowledge in some way, form, or fashion. They may have specialties, but they all do their creations of their universes all throughout the embodiment of all. Within the embodiment of all, they're doing their own little universes and creations through their own infinities. All those 1,008 million gods do that. So if you want to learn more information, go watch the series on Black Roots Science on the channel. Fire of Truth, or Natural Intelligence, or Natural Nathan on the channel. So let's get to the final point I wanted to discuss today. Wow, over an hour of talking. I don't think I ever talked this much in a while. Wow. So let's get to why the Most High Supreme God wanted to experience life subjectively. So the Most High Supreme God wanted to create everything the way it is now, because yes, the Most High God is in a state of omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence, because the Most High Supreme God is all things at one time. It embodies the realm of infinite possibilities, or the dimension of infinite possibility, which expresses all other realms and dimensions with their infinite possibilities eternally and infinitely. So the Most High wanted to experience itself through their creations. So so the Most High Supreme Being basically isolated certain angles of their light in different spectrums to experience egos or life in different perspectives around the cipher, around the sphere, the circle of life. So the Most High is essentially all persons, places, and things within the universes, the cosmoses. Everything is Most High God. But they just wanted to subjectively experience all forms of life that they have created. So the Most High God is essentially all things in nature. All persons, places, and things. That's to keep it simple. The Most High God is all polarities, all persons, places, and things. All laws of the Most High, everything. So Most High just wanted to come down from its supreme state of omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence to experience a limited capacity of an angle of light, or an ego, or an ego. or a character or personality it wanted to take on, to experience that specific way of life individually. That's why the Most High divided themselves from the oneness. They divided the oneness into multiple different angles and parts in order to experience all that life has to offer in the universe through different perceptions, different perspectives. So essentially the Most High God is just learning about himself through individuality in a limited capacity. Each of those angles of light, or those persons, places, and things, are essentially speaking to themselves. They're reflecting and deflecting and refracting between one another, back and forth through different polarities, or like and like, or like and non-like, or neutral, back and forth through the scales. It's Most High just wants to experience different ways of life, to keep it simple. That's the whole purpose of life. The Most High Supreme God wants to experience life in a limited capacity, in a specific perspective and perception that allows him or her, because they go through a separation process when they descend from that state of all in all, one for all, or all for one, a state of all in all, the state of Ahaya Asher Ahaya, I am that I am. I am the self-existent one who created all life. That state of Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh. That state of Ahaya. I am the self-existent one who created all things. That is what that name, that character, that attribute defines. That is the only fitting name in the Abrit tongue, or the Lashawam HaKodash tongue, the Hebrew tongue. Based on that, the Most High calls himself Ahaya Ashar Ahaya, meaning I am that I am. I will be what I will be, meaning that they're an embodiment of all things. Whether it's good or bad, whether it's positive energies or negative polarity energies. They're all things, they're all persons, places, and things. The Most High is male and female, but in this realm, dimension that we're in, there's separation. So there's a male and there's a female here. There's a man, there's a woman. There's a boy, there's a girl. There's gender here in separation. But in oneness, there is no gender in oneness. Everything is everything. Everything is everything. It's the realm, the dimension of infinite possibility. Going back to the source. The source creates all persons, places, and things to subjectively experiencing life away from the objectivity, in other words, the state of what? The state of absolute supreme truth, the state of absolute, the state of omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. In other words, all-knowing, all-powerful, and all everywhere, all present. Most High wanted to separate themselves in a state of subjectivity at an individual level through different perceptions and perspectives and angles of light, to experience life in all forms, experience creation in all its forms. I hope I hit the grand slam or home run for you. I hope you're starting to comprehend what life is really about and what is really going on in this realm and dimension, in this holographic world. So our main purpose here is to develop ourselves, is to learn about life through individual egos, individual angles of light. That's the whole purpose here. We're here to develop ourselves. We're here to go through the journey, go through the experience of life in general. We're here to experience one another, reflect, refract, project one another, whether it's opposite polarities or like and like, or opposites. We're here to learn from each other, to warn it. This tells you I'm starting to trip over my words now. It's time to end the video very shortly, which I'm attempting to summarize it and conclude this. The whole purpose of life is to experience life through a certain perspective and perception and a specific angle of light and ego. And each person, place, and thing has different levels of light. Some people have a greater light than others. Some people have a lesser light than others. You have to keep that in mind. In other words, some people have higher abilities than others. That's what you have to keep in mind as well. Everybody is essentially an angle of light, and no one is complete until they get back to the oneness, the supreme state of all in all. All for one, one for all. Till they get back to that all in all state, which is the embodiment of all for one and one for all. Till we get to that state of supreme darkness, the triple black darkness, where we're omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. We're going through the learning stages through a seed into maturing into trees, or going from a baby, a toddler, to go into a full-grown adult, and going from what? Humans to higher beings of existence, until we get to be our own mighty ones, creating our own universes and realities of our own infinite possibilities of life. That's what the purpose of life here is about. Developing yourself, learning about yourself, knowledge of self. It's about knowledge of self, and the main purpose is about, you have to develop yourself. You have to ensure that you're incorporating the basic foundational principles of the 777 principles of the universe within your being. You have to get back to that state, God. You have to get back to that state of supreme status. And you're being tested through barriers, blockades, and fortresses, through the opposite polarities of life and different forms of being. You're being tested by opposite polar beings who are against your development and growth. That is God as well. Those are just there to test you and your strength and your fortitude to grow, elevate yourself, and ascend. You're here to develop yourself. You're here to extend your angles again. You're just here to go through an experience of broadening your angles of light again. Back to a complete sphere, a complete all encompassing of everything. That's the whole purpose of life. You're here to experience life subjectively, coming from the objective to the subjective. So you're here to experience life at a certain angle of light, or a certain ego and perspective. And your character is based upon your astrological program, in other words. So when we descend here at a certain birth time and date, that is essentially our astrological programming, which basically breaks down our character, our talents, skills, weaknesses, our karmic realities, and which things that we need to work on in our current state and develop and overcome, so we can develop, grow, and elevate and ascend to the next grade of existence in the school. Because life is school itself. Life is a learning institution. I don't like institutions, but you get the idea what I'm talking about. Life in general is a learning experience. It's essentially a massive school in which you must progress through the grades one at a time, until you get back to the highest state of being an eternal or an everlasting God, creating your own realms, dimensions, and realities. That's the whole purpose of life. And you're going to go through opposites, polarities that are going to put up some barriers, blockades, and fortresses to put you to the test, to test your will, to test your will, test your morals, test your principles. You're gonna have things that are gonna be put against you. So that basically breaks down. Let me conclude this. That basically breaks it down for you. I think I said everything I needed to say in this video. Even though it's a long video, I said everything I need to say today. Hopefully, I'm trying to think if I missed anything here. I essentially said everything I wanted to say, pretty much. Anyways, I hope you got the idea, my brothers and sisters, of what I said today. So if you have some If you have any questions, you better rewind and listen very carefully to the video, because it breaks it down very simply, very basically. It's foundationally, and it should be very simple even for children to comprehend, sons and daughters to comprehend. So anyways, get your behind back to nature and awaken your mind. That's the fire of truth, and nothing but the whole, living, unified truth. Until next time, holistic pure peace, pure power, and pure elevation. This is your brother, Supreme Natural Intelligence, Intelligenetics. So I warmly invite you to receive the tough love of the truth, because I know the truth sometimes is a very hard pill to swallow, and it's a very scorching truth to receive, blazing hot. But you have to keep in mind, purification is necessary, cleansing is necessary, and sometimes you're going to have to receive the wrath of the Most High God through the fire, which is meant to purify you. It's meant to cleanse you, like silver and gold being purified through the furnace or the fires, or the metals being purified and cleansed through the fires. The fire blaze, which is there to make you more aware of your errors and your mistakes and your wrong ways of life that you took upon. The fire is there to cleanse you, to make you more aware of what you have done, so you can better yourself in the next incarnation you may take on. Anyways, enjoy. Awaken your mind through the PowerPoint presentation slideshow, because you must awaken your mind. You must deprogram, empty your cup, so you can be reprogrammed, brainwashed clean, positively, with the right knowledge, right wisdom, and the right rays from the sun, reasoning, the real sun. So it could be instilled in every cell, neuron pathway, dendrite, and synapses within your whole physiology of your mind. Anyways, get your behind back to nature and awaken your mind.